needs a shoulder to cry on. Everyone needs a helping hand.
Each year, hurricane season brings challenges for those living in affected areas, but this year has been especially rough. As a community of artists, we know all too well that creativity can be a beacon of hope. We have chosen to come together to raise money for people who have been impacted by these catastrophic events. We've created videos for you to enjoy and art for you to bid on. Fluid Art Co has stepped up to do something very special. They've offered to sponsor the collaboration with a limited release pigment that they've named Benevolence. $5 of every jar sold will go towards the fund. Proceeds will be going to the Direct Relief Organisation. From all of us around the globe, we thank you for taking this on with us.
Thank you for joining me for this really important collaboration of some amazingly talented fluid artists to help raise money for direct relief for those who are impacted by the recent devastating hurricanes. And as you heard earlier, that is Benevolence, and that is the Fluid Art Co.'s pigment that they've just released to help out and to raise money. And I'm also using Ore and TLP, this little piggy unicorn, as well. And I'm going to be doing a deconstructed bloom, and I'm working on a 12 by 24 deep edge wooden cradle board, and I'm putting down my PPG pillow base paint. It's going to act as my pillow to slide around the bloom after I blow it out, and just getting that down there so that I'll have a nice fluffy pillow to slide it and deconstruct the bloom. I'm going to try and tilt it and stretch it to create some unusual shapes. And it's been a while since I've done a deconstructed bloom, so I was a little bit rusty, but had some help from Durishin, and I followed her pouring medium recipe, and I was really pleased with how this turned out, considering I haven't done one of these probably in about 6 months or more. So yeah, it was fun for me, and I kind of feel like the deconstructed bloom is a little bit of like a metaphor for this devastation and flooding, because it's kind of finding beauty in the breakdown, and I think that's even a song. But you know, throughout all the devastation and just destruction that is caused with the flooding, especially in the mountains here in North Carolina, in western North Carolina, it's kind of like finding the hope. And so this deconstructed bloom is sort of my ode to that, and finding hope and finding beauty, you know, in these times of need, in these times of despair and destruction. Hope is really what keeps us going. So I hope you enjoy watching this video and watching me kind of fumble around doing a deconstructed bloom. I hope I make Karen proud. Like I said, I was a little bit rusty, but I had a fun time doing it, and I really do think that the Benevolence pigment is really beautiful. It's like a moody blue, and it does kind of like a color shift into a purple, and there it is. You can see it there. It's just really beautiful. And you want to get your tub of that pigment, and then of course $5 of every sale goes towards the directrelief.org and to help those who are impacted by the hurricanes. I'm layering my puddle for the blowout, and my puddles, I'm trying to use the opaque flat color, and then some of the TLP pigments and or metallic paints, and kind of layer them so they're separated a little bit, and then putting a little bit of drizzle of that gold at the end, just to kind of vary that and help it, you know, have a little bit more shading and dynamics to the bloom when it's blown out. And I'm putting my titanium white mixed with Aussie Floetrol, Amsterdam titanium white, and I'm doing Amsterdam Grahpite as well, as a cell activator mixed with Australian Floetrol, just because I wanted it to be maybe not quite as harsh as a black. And the graphite is just really nice too because it has a sparkle itself, and I like the cells that it created when you see the blowouts. And I'm going to let you listen to some tunes. The Benevolence, I will say, though, again, talking about this new release, Pigment, to raise money for hurricane relief, it's really beautiful, and I think it's really beautiful that benevolence itself means the desire to do good for others, and I think that's a perfect name for this pigment. And I'll let you listen to some more music while I do the blowout.
I've tried to figure out who I am, and you were always there to lift me up.
So I didn't love that initial blowout, so take two, and I'm just re-layering my puddle, and I'm gonna blow it out again and see if I can get a little bit better shape, although I did forget to put my gold ore in there, and so that is a difference between the two blooms. The top one's not going to have as much gold in there, but I did like what I got, and I still in the end like the way the two blooms relate to one another. I still think they're pretty interesting, and you'll have to tell me what you think in the comments. To let you know too, we have family up in western North Carolina in the mountains, and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law both, my sister-in-law is a nurse, and my brother-in-law is a sergeant in the fire department, and he helped with water rescue for the first 3 days of the most horrible part of the flooding up in the mountains. And then the Army landed with choppers, and they kind of took over and relieved all the firemen and all of the rescue workers, the local rescue workers that were working so hard and almost being worked to death. I mean, because it's just incredible the amount of devastation and the amount of loss, and it's going to take Asheville, I think, 10 years to rebuild from everything that has happened. And my brother-in-law and sister-in-law really worked on the front lines of trying to help those who had been affected, and it's just you have to really keep these people in your thoughts and prayers, and do what you can. And this is one of the great things that I'm glad we're doing this collaboration to help try to give back. And so please give if you can. You can pick up your TLP Benevolence, and some of that money will go towards the hurricane relief. And you can also bid on my piece and some of the other pieces on November 3rd at the live auction.
There can't be no light if darkness don't.
I'm just taking my skewer and I'm fixing. There was a line of white paint that I carelessly had let drag across that bloom, so I just took my skewer and went through it a little bit and made it kind of like a style line and connected it into the shape of the blowout, and then you have it fixed and you don't really even notice it. It's not tragedy if something like that happens, you just gotta roll with it. I am loving these colors though. I love how the TLP Ore is kind of lighting up those cells with that golden shimmer, and then the Benevolence is giving this kind of color shift of like a lavenderish grayish purple, and the TLP Unicorn is also giving some violet to blue kind of color shifting, and you can kind of see it gives it a watercolor effect as well.
I I thank him every day. I will put him first.
So I've got the kind of gold haloing in here because I had added more gold into this of the ore, the TLP ore. And then this one, there's gold in places, but it's not as prominent, but it's kind of like the white kind of haloed the cells through there. I really love how this deconstructed bloom turned out. It's been a while, like I said, since I did one, but I really am pleased with the results. I think it's beautiful, and I think I'm gonna title it Hope Floats. And I know Hope Floats was a movie a while back, and but really the saying is about hope is like the positivity that floats above the water, even when things get rough, even in times of despair. Hope rises to the top, and hope bonds us and unites us and is productive. So I think it's a great title for the piece, and as I said, it'll be up for auction. There'll be a live auction starting Sunday, November 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can bid on my piece, Hope Floats, and all the other artists' pieces. And that money will go to direct relief and will help those who have lost so much due to the hurricane. You're seeing all the beautiful sparkle due to the Benevolence and the Ore and TLP Unicorn, and I think this is a stunning piece. I love that section there that looks so watercolor blended. And let me know what you think in my comments. And up after me will be Amber Goodwin of Amber Goodwin Art. There'll be a playlist in the description box, so please be sure and check her video out and all the other artists participating in this incredibly important event. Be sure and tune in for the live auction on November 3rd, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and bid on some art for this incredibly worthy cause. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again real soon.